What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Clear Talk. Fire pit time today. In this video, I wanted to talk about the child endangerment case that recently happened in Ohio a few days ago. And what I want to do is go over what details are known at the moment, or at least from what I've seen released. And while I normally wouldn't discuss something like this, I feel like it brings up a bigger topic or a bigger thing that needs to be said, and something that needs to be addressed. And so that's what I'm going to do in this video, is address something to white people, to the white community, because we seriously need a reality check. And so I want to talk about that and address that. So thank you very much for joining me here. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you'd like to, please check out links and stuff in the description for this channel, for all my other channels. If you would like, subscribe to those, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. All of that is free for you and helps out the channels tremendously. If you would like to, give any kind of actual, full-on support, there's Patreon there. $2 you can support any of the channels that you would like, to help grow those channels and help grow Patreon. And if you would and becoming a Patreon member also gives you a discount on the merchandise as well. So go check out the merchandise. I have something for every single channel there. Anyway, all support, any support you give is very much appreciated, and I thank you very much. And if you're returning, you're freaking amazing. All right, so what happened in Ohio? If you have not heard, and this is turning into a major, it really is going a national, and pretty much Ohio just figured out that it was more Ohio than I think Ohio thought it was. I mean, and I'm not trying to make light of the situation, because this is a very egregious, serious issue that has very many questions that need to be asked, and I hope will get asked and also get answered, because this is crazy. But what happened was, due to an investigation, open case that called for, that they have not released information about either, at least not to my knowledge, led the local police or investigators or whatever to a house for a search warrant. I think there was even like 2 different judges that did 2 different search warrants for something for this particular residence in like this rural area of Ohio. And I get a little bit confused. I'm not from Ohio. There was, I've heard Benton County, but then also Vinton County. I don't know which one's which, or if there's different situations in different, I don't know. Like the judgment of it is one county where the situation was in another county. I have no clue, or maybe it's just a complete, anyway, that's regardless. In going to search this property, they found 16 children. This is hard to even. 16 children that were being held up in what they claim looked like roughly about a 12 by 12 room, that was living in complete and utter, like, just filth and disgustingness. It was a grandmother, grandfather, mother, father, okay, 4 adults with 16 kids, ages ranging from 18 months to 18 years old, okay, 18 years old. As much information as they've gave so far is that it is believed that they have lived in this residence for 4 years, or roughly around 4 years. They've moved them potentially across multiple locations, all of which seem to be in Ohio. except for one instance they said could be in Wisconsin, from my understanding. Over this amount, over a certain amount, I guess 18 years or whatever, I don't know. I have no clue. 16 children, though. All of which are at this point being said is the mother and father's. 16 children. I keep because this is really fucked up. They didn't even specify, or maybe they don't even at this point know, as far as like the breakdown of like grandmother, grandfather, and whether, I guess, the mother is the daughter or the father is the daughter, or who fucking knows. They might both be. I don't fucking know. But it is believed that the mother and father, the younger adults, are the parents to all 16 children. There was one set of twins, and then the rest of them were all individual single kids. And it is believed that they had been held in this room at least in this room for the past 4 years, is where these kids have been held. No neighbors around had any like interviews with neighbors and stuff. They all said they never even knew that kids were there. They had never seen any kids, never seen any kids around the house, never seen any kids with the adults, the moments that they seen the adults out in public. Like maybe at a local, it was said, one said that he's seen them a few times in like a local Dollar General, or something, you know, and they'd never seen any children. Nobody knew that children even lived in this house, much less 16 children. All of which were in horrible shape. Apparently never been to school. Most of them could not even speak, or they're having the few that apparently can speak are very limited in speech. The 18-year-old, the oldest one, officials declared that she appears to be somehow mentally disabled and doesn't even know how to say or write her name or whatever. They were living in absolute filth, like bugs, insects, feces, like it's absolute disgust. They said that they've never seen never seen anything like this before. Like that they had come across, you know, houses that were pretty filthy and situations that were pretty bad, but nothing to the extent of this. The children were immediately removed from the premises. Some had to be taken to the hospital. I think somewhere around 7 or 8 of them had to be taken to the hospital. One of them was in such bad shape that they were in the ICU. The rest were checked and then released from, or at least from, I guess, like the precinct or whatever, into child custody services. But and there's so many questions, so many fucking questions around this situation. Like for instance, where were these kids born? Were they born in hospitals? Were they born in homes that they lived in? Are there records of them? And the investigation is, of course, still going on, and they're still trying to compile this type of information. They assume that they were not born in the home, but I mean, I don't know, or if they have, what kind of information they have and they haven't released yet, or whatever. But there's so many questions around why and how this situation happened. If there are actual like government records, birth records of these children, around question where, why, and how They have not been schooled, and why has that not been seen over the multiple locations that they may have lived? I mean, are we talking about that they've never been to a doctor, they've never been to a hospital, nothing's ever happened to them, they've never gotten sick, or what? Like, while living in this filth, they said the entirety of the house was filthy, but the room that the kids were in were just unspeakable. It's like, how in the world can a situation like this happen where, I mean, we're not talking about just 1 or 2 kids. We're talking about 16 kids. They didn't make any noise. They didn't make any sound. Nobody ever heard them. What kind of conditions, abuse have they been done under? I mean, the question around even sexual abuse or something like that, although they're still investigating. And I mean, to some degree, I guess there's really maybe even no way to know without a medical examination, but also a medical examination that could even prove that something recently may have happened. I mean, like, maybe in the younger kids perhaps, but like, there's so, and then of course the kids, the limitation of the kids able to verbally express what they've been through, or what conditions that they have lived under, or what type of actions have been taken on them. I mean, and we're talking about malnutrition, you know, again, there's no telling what the conditions of their health are once they all get lined out here. But this 16 kids that have lived a life anywhere from, again, 18 months to 18 fucking years old. And these people have been getting away with this. There's no, and nobody's ever noticed this? Nobody's ever noticed or been concerned or questioned? And if so, did it not go anywhere? Or there's no, I mean, like, there are so many questions around this. It is like, it's crazy. It's the absolute most crazy. But here's the thing. When the officials are talking about this, the one thing that kept annoying and upsetting me is that they kept talking about this as it was so bad that it was like they were living in a third world country. The Attorney General even made a statement at one point stating, in trying to explain it, he goes, you remember those commercials we used to see of the children in Africa that were in such harsh conditions, or, you know, like, what? Okay, for starters, those quote-unquote commercials, like, that's propaganda for starters, okay, to try to make a condition look worse than it was, or to make you sympathize with something, to either get your money, or to try to show you, oh yes, no matter what you think conditions you are in, this is what these people over here are in conditions of, and they make it appear that way just so you can feel better about your conditions and make you think that you are amazing and you've got it made. Those type of, this is not third world conditions, okay? This type of egregious behavior is not third world. You can't just sit there and define as anyone that's not of what you consider civilized society as this is the way it is. Like, in civilized society, we don't have this, but in uncivilized society that we call third world countries, just because they're, like, you know, don't have like a modern setup or whatever, they live a little bit more, you know, I don't know, naturalistic or whatever the case, or maybe to what degree they're, I mean, yes, clearly there are some areas that are poverty-stricken because of governmental issues, people in control of those areas and those countries or whatever. Yeah, there are conditions that are pretty bad, but like, to act like that is like comparing this to that, or comparing that to this, and saying that that was like it's an equivalent. That was really, in my opinion, kind of fucked up. No, this type of condition is actually first world fucking conditions. Okay? This is the type of conditions that happen in a country like the United States. And what is the problem is that people are not identifying and showing and admitting that this type of shit is in the United States. More than you think. The problem is the shit's just covered up, or not concerned about, or not cared about. Because the problem is that the majority of this type of condition is done by one group of people, by one community. And that's the fucking white community. I said it. I fucking said it. You can get mad, you can get upset about all the fuck you want. But white people need to come to this, to understanding, okay? It's about time. I'm getting sick and tired of white communities and white people, the white civilization of America, acting like we're so fucking superior, like we're so, high fluting whatever, that we're just, that kind of shit doesn't happen. It doesn't happen in the white community. No, we don't do that. We don't, this kind of stuff, this is rare. This stuff doesn't happen. This is stuff that we point at when we look at the black community, or we look at the Hispanic community, or the Indian community, or the Asian community, any fucking community we can, to point out issues and problems in that community to make them look bad, and not actually look at our community and the fucking trash that is in the fucking white community. And I'm not talking about just the fucking poor. I'm talking about from the poor white trash all the way up to the at least billionaire fucking white trash. We have fucking problems through our entire goddamn society. But the problem with the fucking white community is we're not willing to admit it. We're not willing to sit there and say, yeah, we got some problems and we need to fucking address it. Stop pointing the fucking finger at all these other communities and acting like they are the problem and they are the evil and they are the sickness and we're so much more superior and better than them. Because whiteness means cleanliness, and whiteness means like sovereignty or righteousness or whatever. Fuck you. The white community is bad. Actually, the white community is way fucking worse than pretty much every other community in the goddamn planet. Because I'm telling you, you're not going to see that type of situation happen in the black community. You're not going to see that kind of situation happen in the Mexican community, or even in the Indian community. You're not going to have, or in the Asian community. You're not going to have that kind of situation. You know why? Because have you ever fucking heard it? No, you've never fucking heard it. You know why you've never fucking heard it? Because it didn't fucking happen. Because if it did happen, white people would be all over that shit. It would be all over the motherfucking news. It would be on cycles for months and months and months and months, and we would not let them fucking hold it down. We would be all over that shit. But you know what happened? No, it happened in the white community. And it happens in the white community all the fucking time. And it always gets fucking protected and erased. It gets pretended like it doesn't happen. But I know for fucking a fact it happens. I know for a fact that sexual predator situations within children and stuff happen all the fucking time. It happens in all the... Why do you think there are reputations around in some of these southern states for being, some taboo shit, familial incest like taboo shit? That kind of shit happens in Arkansas. That's the kind of shit that happens in Alabama. That's the kind of shit. You know why? Because that's the fucking kind of shit that happens in white communities in the South. Why do you always see Republicans, all with their highfalutin, this self-righteous bullshit, but then when you start looking behind the curtains at their families, you start realizing, oh, there's a pedophile here. Oh, there's a cross-dresser here. Oh, there's a gay person here. All these things that they complain and act like are so bad and so evil. And we don't do that, or we're so much better than that. And then you start looking into their family and you see all kinds of bullshit and all kinds of crazy ass stuff going on within that family that they don't want to admit to. The white community has problems. White people have problems. Again, from the fucking lowest of low of poverty poor white trash to the upmost elite billionaire white trash, the Epstein type of white fucking trash. And it all gets protected. It all gets pushed. It all gets hidden. Because the white community doesn't want to admit that that shit is in the white community. It doesn't want that to admit, because then it would look just as bad as what they claim all the other fucking communities look like. It's time for the white community to fucking look in the mirror and realize that we have our own problems that we need to be addressing. And this is a cultural issue. This is a mental issue with conditioning, the whitewashing that we have done. Why do you think that fucking term even exists? It's because white people have been doing it for fucking generations upon generations, doing everything we can to make white people look as superior as we fucking can and better than every goddamn body else, when the most egregious things in history, the most disgusting things in history, the most harmful and violent things in history have been done by fucking white people. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of fucking hearing and seeing all this blame and finger pointing at all these other fucking communities when you're not fucking pointing the finger at your own goddamn community. And some of the worst fucking ones are the ones that sit there and tout their little Bible in their hands and act like they're so self-righteous and so, religious and Christian-like. When the last I checked, your fucking God in the Bible, you're Jesus, okay, in the Bible, because I mean, let's admit it, you pretend like Jesus is also God so that you can have multiple gods, and you can go to one God when you want to feel one kind of way and go to another God when you want to feel another kind of way. But you're Jesus in the Bible. You're Jesus in the Bible. Remember that little part where he says, those with guilt, without guilt, cast the first stone? And all the fuck I ever see you do is casting fucking stones. That's all the fuck I ever see you do. That's all the white community ever does, is cast fucking stones at everybody else without looking at their own goddamn community. And it's absolutely, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And I'm calling you bitches out. I'm calling you out. We need to face reality. It's fucking time for a reality check. This type of shit happens, and it happens in the fucking white community. There is a sickness of thinking that nobody can touch us, that we can do whatever the hell we want, and to whatever degree we get caught doing something, we'll find a way to get away with it. Or we'll get lesser charges, or we'll get, patted on the back a little bit, or just a little slap on the wrist. We're not really going to do any kind of major fucking time for it. And yes, every now and then, yeah, we will put somebody away because we got to look like we're being fair somewhere. But we're always trying to hide this shit. We're always trying to hide the way the communities, all the lowest of lowest poverty, drug-stricken, sexual offender-stricken, kind of, horrible family incest type of communities. We try to hide them away and pretend like they don't actually exist. And then all the fucking elite billionaire Epstein class motherfuckers that are causing all kinds of horrendous acts, sexual predators, abuse, children, everything else. And we're fucking hiding those files. We're fucking hiding all that information, not charging anybody. Why? This is what white people do. This is what the white community does. And they do it because they're trying to make themselves look better than fucking everybody else when we are not. We're just not. It's time to look in the mirror. It's time to stop pointing the fucking fingers. And it's time to start addressing our own communal societal issues. our own people. We need to start questioning and concerning ourselves around our own mental health, our own educational system, our own parental practices, our own everything. We need to start looking around all the different avenues of our culture and our society, and why we have these conditions. The drug problems, all of this shit, and why is it accepted, or why is it protected? Even if you think that you're not accepting it, why is it protected? Why is it forgotten about? Why are we not addressing it? Why are we pointing the finger at everybody else, making everybody else a demonizing everybody else, when we ourselves have our own problems? The problems within this country are not everybody else. Okay, if you want to act like we are, superior to this and heirs to this country or whatever, this shit was happening before everybody else got here. We were having these problems in our communities before everybody else got here. Don't act like everybody else is the problem. Data proves that there's more white people that do crimes and shit than other communities. The incarceration rates are different, but actual criminal activity, no. So we need to stop pretending. I'm calling the white community out. Fucking stop pointing the finger and start addressing our own goddamn community. Because shit like what's just happened in Ohio and what was just found in Ohio should have fucking never got there. That should have been addressed and seen way before now. It is a complete embarrassment. It is a complete fucking embarrassment to that family, to those group of people, anybody associated to that family and those group of people, everybody in fucking Ohio or any other place that they have lived, the whole fucking Hawaii community. That is a goddamn embarrassment. And we need to own up to it. We need to own up to it and all the other problems within our community. And start fucking addressing those before we start pointing fingers. And start blaming everybody else for shit that is our own fucking making. Anyway, let me know what you think. Until next time, peace. Clear Talk, I'm out.